Good morning, students. Welcome to our last part of our design process lesson. So, our previous lesson, we have seen about the specification and the generation of ideas. Then we have seen the selection of idea, the development of the idea, and now we are going to plan our realization and evaluate our final design. So this is the design we have selected and developed to for our key holder. Okay, if you remember our previous lesson. So now we are going to see how to realize this key holder in the workshop. So before entering the workshop, we have to plan our work. We have to determine what to do first, what are the kind of tools are we using, what are the safety measures I must take not to hurt myself, not to damage our product. So for that, we have to make a proper planning. Okay, so this part of the lesson will be based on the product planning. So what is product planning? So in your book, it is said that in order to realize that product, a detailed plan must be made, as I said previously. The plan consists of a cutting list, okay, a time schedule, basic techniques, tools, as well as safety precautions. Okay, donc first of all, we have to make a part list. This design we have selected, we have developed. Okay, there are many parts which consist of. First of all, there are, for example, the base itself. Okay, the base itself here, and there are the words. A second feature. Then there are the hooks, which are themselves fixed with screws. So there are different parts that makes the product. Okay, so we can make an exploded view of the product I have designed and show all parts that exist. So this is called a part list. I can name each part. For example, I can call this the base. Okay, I can call it the letters, the screws, the screws, and the hooks. So four elements which makes our product. So for each part, I will have to make a cutting list. For example, the base, there is only one piece, one piece of the base. The overall dimension is 250 millimeter in length. So it is 250 millimeter in length. Okay. And in height, it is 120 millimeter in height. So this is the overall length, and it is made of pine. So I mentioned, so there is one of the dimension and the material will be made of. Sorry. Okay, the hooks, because there are many hooks. So there are in fact four hooks, not one, but four hooks. The dimension of the hook 30 millimeter by 18 millimeters, and it is made of aluminium. Okay, so this is a cutting list. I can also, if I want, mention the screws. So there are four screws, and the dimension of the screw is diameter 6 millimeter by 20 millimeter long, and it is made of brass. Okay, the letters, it is made of paint. Okay, so acrylic. Sorry, the letters. Excuse me. So the letters, there are four letters made dimension. I will say it's about 50 millimeter by 60 millimeter. okay, and it is made of acrylic paint. So I can mention this in my cutting list. So make a cutting list, uh, whatever the design you have made, it should be made in different parts. So if there are many parts of the same material, you can put the same material. If the many parts are the same, you can just give some characteristic of one of them, like the hooks, for example. There are four identical hooks, so I give the, um, the requirements for one hook, but I say it is four of the four hooks. So the tools are we needed. So make a list of the tools are we needed for making the product. Okay, the holding tools, the measuring tools, the marking tools, the cutting tools, safety equipments, other tools, okay, and other materials. So, for example, screws, sealer, varnish, acrylic paint, etc., etc. You can mention it here. So, for example, the holding tool, I'll be using a bench hook, a measuring tool, a steel rule, a tri-square. So, mention what are the tools will be needed to make this product in the workshop. Then, the planning continues. I will plan how to make part by part. For example, the aluminum parts, the hooks. So I will start the first step. I will mark out the shape to be cut on the aluminum sheet using a felt pen or a marker. Then the next step, I will hold the aluminum sheet into a workbench and cut out the shape using a coping saw. Then I will use a file to polish the edge. So I explain step by step what I will be doing in the workshop to produce my product. Okay, so you have your own design with your own tools if you want. So then the wooden part, for example, I can plan, make a plan how to make the product step by step. So for example, check the material flatness using a tri-square. So measuring and marking using a pencil and a tri-square and a steel rule. I will cut the piece of wood to size using a back saw. I will polish using an abrasive paper. I will finish the product using wood varnish. And I will assemble all the parts using countersunk screws. So this is my plan for making the base and assembly. Okay, so after planning my work, then I can start to realize my work. So use appropriate tools and equipment that I have mentioned in the planning. To the final design is realized taking consideration the basic safety measures needed. Donc, quand je suis en train de travailler dans l'atelier, je dois pouvoir utiliser les méthodes de sécurité. Par exemple, porter des gants là où il faut, mettre un tablier là où il faut, an apron, protect my eyes with clear goggles. Hein? Donc, ça sont les mesures de sécurité qu'il faut prendre. Donc, par exemple, le design que j'ai fait, donc je vais montrer en photo étape par étape, comment je me suis pris pour pouvoir faire l'objet en question en atelier. Donc, par exemple, the measuring process, parce que j'avais mentionné dans mon planning que j'allais mesurer avec une règle et un tri-square. Je montre une photo, comment j'ai fait, ok, avec une règle et un tri-square. Donc, j'avais dit que j'allais utiliser un crayon pour faire le marking process. Donc, je mets une photo où j'utilise le crayon, comment j'utilise le crayon. J'avais dit que j'allais couper avec un back saw et un coping saw. Donc, je mets une photo pour montrer comment j'utilise l'objet en question. Donc, polishing, j'avais dit que j'allais utiliser abrasive paper, donc je montre comment j'utilise ça. Donc, varnishing, comment je fais. Et pour arriver au produit final. Donc, le produit, cette partie en bois là, donc je monte étape par étape comment je fais pour arriver à cette étape, à ce produit fini là. Et ça, on doit montrer des photos réelles en situation. Ce ne sont pas des photos que j'ai prises sur Internet. Ce sont des photos de moi en train de réaliser le projet. Ok? This is the realization of the base. Of the hook, OK? Parce que ça aussi, j'ai dû le faire en atelier. Donc, pareil, measuring and marking process, the cutting process, the drilling process. OK? Parce qu'il fallait casser un trou pour mettre l'herbis. The polishing process, on arrondit les coins un peu pour le rendre un peu plus joli. The bending process, il fallait le plier pour le faire devenir un crochet. Donc, and the assembly process, je montre comment je fais. Marking out the words, the letters, then painting the letters, then the final product. So this is how I will present my realization. It will be in pictures, real pictures, in situation, step by step, how I have made to realize the product. Okay? After the realization step, then we must test the product and evaluate, make an evaluation, is it good or not? So after the testing, we will put the realized product into situation. So since it is supposed to hold keys, I will put some keys into it and see if it works. I test the product. Okay, so a picture showing the product in action. The final solution is tested and its intended setting and used to check whether all the criteria set as specification match the final solution as far as possible. Donc, je dois comparer le produit final avec mes spécifications que j'avais écrit au départ. J'avais dit, the product should hold at least 4 keys. Hein? Donc, je pose la question, est-ce que ce produit-là, est-ce qu'il supporte 4 clés? The product should be attractive. Est-ce que c'est attractive? Dans les spécifications, j'avais dit que the product should be, je ne sais pas moi, qu'est-ce que j'ai dit, wall mounted. Donc, est-ce que c'est wall mounted? Donc, j'évalue en comparant avec mes spécifications. Donc, ça, c'est un exemple d'évaluation. Donc, par rapport aux spécifications que j'ai établies, je pose des questions. Does it solve the design problem? Donc, je dis, it provides a proper way of keeping keys. Does it meet the need of the intended user? Hein? Is the size of the key holder suitable? Quand je vais parler de dimensions, est-ce que la grandeur est bonne? Donc, là, il y a des organismes, mais c'était key holder. Donc, is a key holder esthétique? Hein? Est-ce que c'est esthétique? Est-ce que c'est joli à regarder? Donc, je dis à côté, oui ou non. Hein? Is the material used appropriate for the key holder? D'après moi. Donc, moi j'ai mis the base of the material used has a pleasant surface texture. OK? Can it support the weight of all the keys? Donc, je pose des questions par rapport à mes spécifications et je peux dire une évaluation, dire si c'est bon ou pas. Donc, voilà, c'est testing and evaluation. Testing, c'est je mets l'objet en situation. Et evaluation, je donne mon impression sur l'objet, est-ce que ça fonctionne ou pas. Voilà, avec cette dernière partie, on termine avec la leçon Design Process. Donc j'espère que ça va vous aider à faire votre propre projet. OK? Donc on se dit à l'année prochaine pour l'évaluation du projet. Donc d'ici là, je vous souhaite un joyeux Noël, une bonne année. Donc keep safe.